Welcome to the second episode of You Couldn't Make It Out from CKDS Radio. If you listen to the first episode to find out whether or not a man climbed Mount Fuji twice in 1 week because he lost his phone, the answer will come at the end of this episode. If you've not listened to that episode yet, I recommend you go listen to it first so that you can really get the full thing out of this one. The point of CKDS Radio's You Couldn't Make It Up is to see how susceptible each of us are to false information or false news. You can use whatever you need to try and work out whether or not we're telling the truth or whether or not the article is completely fabricated, except for search engines you would normally use. So if you're a Google user, you would use Bing. If you're a Bing user, you would use Google, or you can use DuckDuckGo or Snipe Search. Ultimately, just avoid what you normally would. You should also avoid using AI search tools, ultimately because AI search tools will often give you the wrong information anyway, and the whole point is for you to be able to identify if something is true or to research to find out why it was false. This is to help us as a general populace be able to work out why we're being misled by false information, or to help us develop the skills to no longer be misled. If you're getting these right every week, that's fantastic. It's good to see that you are not being dragged in. If you are getting them wrong, that's nothing to be ashamed of. The whole world is being misled by posts on social media, clickbaity titles, etc. You're not alone. A beautiful historic town, a tourist incentive, and a decision that may have accidentally turned a local voucher into a functional currency. This is the story of Rothenburg, a medieval walled town in southern Germany famous for its fairy tale charm, timber frame houses, and winding cobblestone streets. But in 2016 it was allegedly at the centre of an economic mix-up, one that saw collectible tourism vouchers mistaken for real money and used far outside its original purpose. Is it true? Is it fiction? That's your job to figure out. Listen to the story, think carefully, decide for yourself. In 2016, the Rothenburg Tourism Board launched a Shop Local campaign to support small businesses struggling with off-season dips in visitors. The idea wasn't radical. Print local vouchers to encourage tourists and locals to spend more within the town. The scheme was called Rothenburg Shine, or Rothenburg Notes. These were more than simple coupons. They were printed on high-grade security paper with security numbers, UV-reactive threads and intricate engraved patterns. The artwork featured medieval architecture, festive scenes from the town's Christmas market, and the city's iconic gates. The board hired a printer in Leipzig that specialised in security-grade documents. The same firm had previously handled replica currency for the museum exhibits and historical archives. The result? The notes didn't just look good, they felt real. 5,000 Rothenburg Schein were issued, denominations of €10 and €25. Intended to be used only in the town, they very quickly caught attention. Locals loved them, visitors treated them like souvenirs, shopkeepers framed them behind counters, but not everyone kept them as a decoration. Soon tourists began offering the shine at shops in nearby towns. A cafe 20 kilometres away reportedly accepted two €25 shines for brunch. One petrol station allegedly took one for fuel, and a farmer at a regional market mistook them for commemorative notes issued by the state government. Reports quickly spread. A travel blogger wrote a viral post titled, "Germany's most beautiful town prints its own money?" Collectors began buying them up. One listing on eBay showed a single €10 Rothenburg shine offered for €160. Another sold in a currency collection forum for €220. The Rothenburg Tourism Board issued a statement clarifying the notes were promotional only. They are not for legal tender. But by this point they were already out in the wild. From bakeries to barber shops, from inns to market stalls, the Rothenburg shine had taken on a strange second life. No longer just a town voucher, not quite official money, but accepted just the same. Even the texture of the paper was convincing. Thick, crisp, and lightly embossed, it gave the impression of official currency. Some tourists reportedly said that it felt more real than real money. Local shopkeepers who accepted the notes described them as too good to throw away. And through all this, no laws were broken. The Rothenburg shine weren't counterfeits. They weren't fake, they were just too real for their own good. As the Rothenburg shine continued to circulate, the town council found itself in an awkward position. They hadn't broken any laws, but they had created a currency in everything but name. By late summer, an estimated €15,000 worth of the vouchers were no longer in Rothenburg. They were changing hands in nearby towns, posted online, and in some cases, according to anecdotal reports, used at tourist hubs in Munich and Nuremberg. That's when the German Bundesbank allegedly took notice. According to a regional broadcaster, a bank flagged the vouchers after a customer attempted to deposit a small stack of them. The bank didn't accept them, of course, but it triggered a formal inquiry. Within weeks, someone from the Nuremberg office contacted Rothenburg's mayor. No formal accusation was made, no legal action was taken, but the message was clear: the shine had gone too far. What followed was a quiet meeting at the town hall. Officials agreed to stop printing more vouchers. Posters were placed around the city reminding visitors that the shine was promotional only. Again, it is not official money. Local shops were encouraged to stop accepting them, though compliance was still uneven. Still, this story didn't die. Collectors continued to buy. Demand surged when it was announced that no more Rothenburg notes would be printed. A €25 note sold at auction for €300. American and Japanese collectors reportedly contacted the tourism board directly asking for limited editions. The Rothenburg shine had gone from an innocent promotional tool to a minor economic anomaly. Schools started using the story in economics classes. A short documentary aired on Bavarian public television entitled "The Village That Printed Its Own Money." In time, the notes faded from circulation. Tourists kept them as souvenirs, collectors locked them in plastic cases, and shopkeepers tucked them in drawers behind counters, waiting for the day they might be worth even more. The Rothenburg Council never printed anything like it again, but they never officially recalled them either. So what are you listening to? Is this an account of something people really believed happened? A complete fabrication, or an embellished version of something that came close? Well, thanks for listening to episode 2 of You Couldn't Make It Out from CKDSRadio.eu. Obviously, we're not going to give the answer to this until the next episode, or you can look it up on the CKDS Radio website 6 weeks later. And for those of you tuning in to find out the answer to last week's episode, whether or not a man had to be rescued from Mount Fiji twice in 4 days because he left his mobile phone up there the first time, the answer is unbelievably true. Someone tried to climb up there in the off-season, had to be rescued by helicopter, had to be taken to the hospital, and almost as soon as they were taken out of the hospital, climbed up again to try and get their mobile phone and had to be rescued again. The world knows no limits of foolishness. That's all I can say. So, thank you for listening, and hopefully we will catch you in the next episode.